Here is sample number 3 on page 2 of your note packet. The first thing that we do when we're writing an equation from a graph is to identify the zeros in the graph. This one has zeros. Let me get the pen. Zeros at -4, 2, and 5. Then you also have to pick any point on the graph to use as a test point to figure out if there is some lead coefficient like a multiplier in the front of your equation. So this one here gave us the additional point of 0, 10, which is an x and a y value that we will use to plug in later on in the process. So the first thing to do is to write your factors. You take the zeros and you change the sign to get those factors. Remember that, like, if a factor was x minus 2, you would set it equal to 0 and you would get a 0 by adding the 2, you would get x equals 2. So here, change the sign from your zeros to get your factors. So the first one, the 0 was -4, so it's going to be x plus 4. Then the second factor, x minus 2, and then the third, x minus 5. Because if you set these equal to 0, you would add the 5 and you get 5, you would add the 2 and get 2, you would subtract the 4 and get -4. Then take those factors and write them as an equation with some lead coefficient we don't know, a, because we don't know if there's a lead coefficient in this or not. So we only have like one thing left to do, and that's to figure out what a is. So we're going to use the point that they gave us to figure out what a is. So we need to plug in the y value, which was 10, into our equation, and the x value was 0. So I'm setting up, plugging in 0 for all my x's. Then simplify. So 0 and 4 is 4, 0 minus 2 is -2, 0 minus 5 is -5. And we're just solving for a here. So multiply 4 times -2 times -10 is positive 40. So the right side would be 40a, left side 10. Divide by 40. Reduce that and you get 1/4 for a. So then you take that and you write your equation from that. So the equation is f of x equals a is 1/4, and then my factors, x plus 4, x minus 2, and x minus 5. Now I would multiply these together if it wanted standard form. Currently this is an equation of it, and all they are asking us to do on this problem is to write the equation, so I'm not making you do anything else with it right now. If they did want you to write it in standard form, you would have to multiply the binomials, then multiply by the trinomial, and then I would factor the 1/4 last.